peaches, peppers, jam.
So I'm starting the first step of the jam process, and that is slicing up the peppers. We've got 3 jalapenos and 2 really hot cayenne peppers. Our friend Betsy grew these all for us in her garden, so these are local, homegrown right here. So I'm gonna get these all chopped up and ready to go in to give a little heat to our sweet peach.
Yes, today we are making peach pepper jam. We won't have a lot of spice just because we're not using a whole lot of peppers, but it'll have a little bit of a kick. These are actually spicier than I anticipated.
Yeah, when we tried them at their house the other day and we all went, oh.
That is a cute little knife. It's like the smallest little ceramic knife I've ever seen in my life. It'll take about 3 hours to chop all that up, but it'll be well worth it.
It was a gift from my brother.
So yeah, we're doing a peach pepper jam, and this is just how we do it. I know everybody has their own recipes, but this is gonna be Mary's and my version of a peach pepper jam.
Yes. Oh, look at all those seeds.
We've made literally hundreds of jars of this. And the peaches we actually got from a local farmer's market, so I don't know where they got them because I didn't know peaches were actually available in Virginia yet. But
they're available south of here, so they probably came from a farm not far south of here. Well, actually, Southern Virginia now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're regional at least.
So step 1, definitely you got to prep all your fruit and your veggies for this one. And we use kind of small slices.
And I have to remember not to touch my face.
Yeah, and actually, I know you're removing the seeds, but I actually like to include the seeds in this jam. It just adds a little bit extra kicks, but you guys can do whatever you want. You can use the seeds for a little bit extra oomph to your jam or not. That's totally up to you.
Figured I'd do one of each.
One pepper with.
One pepper with, one pepper without, yeah.
All right, we'll be back in a second. So while you're chopping your fruits and your peppers and all that good stuff, you want to go ahead and get a good sized pot boiling with your jars and your lids. So this is actually a gigantic stock pot that we use for this. You want to get that to a boil. It's going to take a little while. So the easiest thing to do is actually get your jars, throw them in, make sure they're completely submerged, fill up the pot. After you've done that, you don't want to fill up the pot and then start throwing the jars in there. And then go ahead and add your lids in the top. I know some instructions say boil your lids, the last couple minutes or whatever. I don't do that. I throw them all in at the same time, and I've never had a problem. I've never had a jar pop on me. I've never had an incomplete seal. I just boil them all at the same time. Bring these to a boil. And find the largest pot you possibly can. This takes about, I think it takes a good 15-20 minutes to get these things to a rolling boil. And that's with a gas oven on full blow. And then put our lid on there. Hopefully you can find a pot this size with a lid. And then you can get back to chopping.
We found that one at Costco.
This is a Costco pot?
Yes.
Costco it is. Now, one of the things Mary and I do for this particular jam is that we peel the peaches. This is a completely optional step for you guys. You do not have to peel your peaches. If you like more of a marmalade texture, just go ahead and leave the skin on. But for this particular jam, Mary and I go ahead and we peel the peaches. It's kind of a pain to do and a little time consuming, but yeah, that's totally up to you what kind of texture you want your jam to have. If you want it to be a little bit smoother texture, go ahead and peel the peaches. If you want more of that marmalade texture, leave the skin on. It's no harm leaving the skin on. So I'm sure you guys have seen all those little Facebook cutesy little quick and easy and yummy recipes where they do the little fast cuts and boom, bang, smash, everything looks great. Nothing looks like that. You peel and chop these peaches, it's gonna look like you murdered a Disney character, but your hands are gonna be gooey, everything's gonna be gross. Don't worry about it. Chop them up. And one of the things I wanted to mention was we like our jams to be a little chunky, so we leave kind of decent sized chunks in there, like 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch chunks for our peaches. That's up to you. You can do whatever you want. We're making a jam here, so we want it to have a decent amount of texture. So dice those bad boys up and on to the next part.
And if you can hear it in the background, we have our jars and lids on full boil right now.
I overkill it on the sterilization process for jams and whatnot because we keep these things a couple of years sometimes. So I actually get this thing going to a rolling boil for like 10 minutes and then leave the lid on it until we're ready to start jarring up our jams. That took about 15 minutes to come to a boil in this size pot. So once you have your peaches and your peppers cut, what you need to do is measure out 4 cups.
Here's the first one.
And that's your fruit and your vegetables. 4 cups. This is our recipe. You can actually use just about any recipe for this. It's kind of a hybrid, actually, of the, is it Surto recipe?
Surto.
Surto.
We prefer the liquid pectin.
Yeah, we don't use the powdered pectin. We use the liquid.
Liquid sets up better.
Some recipes don't use pectin at all. They just use their sugars or the natural sugars from the fruit. But this is a set positive recipe every time it sets, and we learned this through trial and error.
Yes, we did.
How many cups was that so far?
That was 3. This is the 4th one, and is going to include this little tiny set of peppers that will perfectly top that off.
Yeah, that's gonna be perfect. How many peaches was that total? 5, I think.
That was 5. 5 pretty good sized peaches.
Medium-sized peaches.
One was big, and the rest were medium. So
once they're peeled and chopped, it's gonna give you.
And we get all that in there. Ta-da! And there's some color. That makes it, brightens it up.
So that's your first measurement. Okay, 4 cups of your peaches and your peppers, and you can mix that up, that ratio, any way you want. You can do half and half. I've done 2 cups of peaches and 2 cups of habaneros, and geez, that was a good jam. But it was hot, but it was good.
Oh yeah.
Once you have your peaches and your peppers in your pot, the next thing we do is we add probably about a tablespoon of crushed red pepper, 1/4 tablespoon of black pepper, 1/4 tablespoon of cayenne. We used about 1.5 cups of this particular vanilla extract, and I can't remember how much lemon juice goes in there.
1/4 cup.
1/4 cup of lemon juice. That's going to keep the color, but it'll also add some acidity to the jam, give it a little bit better pop on the flavor. So once you add all of that, the next step is to add all of your sugar, which we will do here in a second. All right, the next thing you want to do is add your sugar, and we use
7 cups of regular white Domino sugar, and then 1.5 cups of raw. It gives it just a little bit different flavor. It has a bit more of a molassesy flavor, so it makes your jam taste a little more interesting.
And then we're going to give that a good stir, and we're going to go straight to the heat. I know it looks like a lot of sugar, but this is going to help with the set. We want to give that a good stir, and then we're going to go straight to the heat with it. Oh, I can smell the peppers already.
I know.
I'm surprised.
I'm not. Those cayennes are hot. They may be tiny, but they pack a punch.
Yeah.
And the jalapenos aren't exactly mild either.
I'm more used to doing a 50-50 recipe, so 50% fruit, 50% pepper.
Right.
So I really wasn't expecting.
Whoa, sorry.
I can't believe how much that smells like pepper.
Well, we did also add crushed red pepper and cayenne and black
Yeah,
pepper.
but
so.
I mean, I can smell the peppers. Is
Yes.
what I'm saying. It's just
Yeah.
wow.
And the black pepper was fresh ground, so that also helps. Always use fresh ground black pepper if you can. It's got much more of an intense flavor to it, and it just tastes more peppery, if that's possible. All right.
More peppery pepper.
That's right. All right, I think we are about ready to get this on the heat.
And this is going to go straight to your heat. We have to bring this to a boil.
Ah, okay.
So once you get your mixture on the heat, we start at a pretty low setting, and we just build up from there. If we go straight to hot, it's going to burn the bottom of the pot. But
It's already loosening up.
We need to bring it to a boil, and that's what we're looking for, is a rolling boil, and that's when we will start adding the pectin and then reboiling. So this takes a good about 8 to 10 minutes, I think, on average.
Meanwhile, while our jam mixture is coming to a boil, our lids and seals and jars have fully boiled for at least 10 minutes. So now we have to take them out, and the best thing in the world for this is tongs. The longer, the better.
Good pair of tongs and UV glove. Hooray, UV gloves.
Yes, we love our UV glove.
Here's another thing you're going to want too, is a spatula.
Spatula.
Because if you can't get all of these, the lid tops, right here. Notice I added them after I added the jars. They stick to the bottom.
And together.
So a good thing is pop them off with this and you can get them out. So get yourself a good little spatula to reach the bottom of this pot. But that helps a lot.
So yes, because one of the things you need to do is you need to completely dry your lids and jars before you put the jam in them. So this gives them a chance to do that while the mixture is coming to a boil. So one cool thing we have is we have these really neat blue jars, a little different from the traditional clear. My sister gave these to Dave a couple of years ago as a gift, and this is the first chance we've had to break into them.
Thank you, Linda.
Yay, thanks, Linda. Normally we do mostly small jars, either these or the slightly larger ones, because we like to give them as gifts. But these jars will probably be for us, so we can have a little more. And because we want to see how the jam looks in these really cool blue jars.
This looks cool. It looks like the old-fashioned kind of blue glass. I think they look really cool.
Yeah, so thanks, Linda.
So when you take your jars out of the boiling water, they're going to pretty much air dry on their own. But if you're rushed for time and they're not quite dry, just make sure that you get all of the water out of there. And use a glove. These things are crazy hot still. But that's really important that you don't want any water settling in the bottom of these jars and then pouring jam right on top of it. It'll just crystallize the sugar when it starts to set and you'll have a grainy textured jam. Nobody wants a grainy textured jam. So yeah, just make sure you get all the water out of there. And you are on your way. Actually, our mixture is really close.
Starting to bubble a little around the edges.
Yep, so what you want to do is you want to get this to a rolling boil. And once you achieve that, you let it go for about a minute, I believe.
Yes.
So we want that to get to a rolling boil for 1 minute, and then we're going to add our pectin. We're going to try to get all that on film. It's going to be kind of hectic. But yeah, because it happens really quick.
Yes.
One thing you can do, especially if you're working by yourself, is get your pectin ready. We use 2 packs of the Sertro liquid pectin. Okay, go ahead and get a little glass, cut the tops off, and get them ready to go. Because when you try to do this, when you've got a rolling boil, go ahead and give that a stir. When you've got all that going, it can be kind of hectic. Because remember, this is, now that you've got a pretty good boil, you need to get that pectin in there within about a minute. So we've already started our timer. We've got about 45 seconds left on this, and then we're going to have to add the pectin, and it's super hard and frantic at that point. So go ahead and get it up and running. All right, we're coming up on our minute. Got about probably 20 seconds left. Got a nice rolling boil. Keep that stirring. You don't want that coming over the top of your pot. That's happened to me before, and it's no fun. Burns everything. Remember, this is lava, so you don't want this splashing out on you. We're getting ready to add the pectin. Mary's on standby. It's nice to have 2 people doing this.
Yeah, it is.
When you try and do it all by yourself, it's a super pain.
All right, shall we?
Yep, let's go ahead and get that in there.
All right, first one. You got to make sure you get it all out of the bottom too, because you want to make sure you absolutely use the whole pack of pectin, because this stuff is really helpful. Right, that's pack 1 and pack 2.
And this is just fruit pectin. If you've never tried it straight, I encourage it.
Oh, you're so mean.
It's so bad.
It's terrible.
It tastes
You think,
terrible.
oh, fruit is sweet. No.
No, good lord. I tried it because I was like, what's fruit pectin? I'm going to try it straight. Yeah, it was not so good.
Now we go for exactly a minute.
1 minute. We got to bring this back to a rolling boil. Once it hits that rolling boil, then we go for a whole minute.
Exactly. I've got it ready to go. Okay, we have achieved full post-pectin boil, and so now we start the loading. So we love to use this plastic 2-cup measuring cup because it has the internal measurements
and the lid
and the really nice spout.
Yeah, and we put everything on a towel just because it's easier to clean up. You just toss it in there. You want to fill your jars to about a 1/4 inch of the top, maybe an 1/8 inch to the top.
And then immediately your next person should come in with the lid.
Yeah, and you're just going to set that lid right on top. You don't worry about screwing these things down just yet. Set it right on top. Next step is you want to get your little screw tops on, and the important thing here is you don't want to over tighten it. So when you get these on there, oh, this one's being stubborn.
There we go.
take it down just a tad. Don't over tighten it. And move on to the next.
And this is another spot where that UV glove is really helpful, because remember how we were talking about how this stuff was lava? Well, once you put lava in a glass jar, the glass jar also gets hot as lava.
Oh my gosh, yeah, these jars are crazy hot and they're only getting hotter by the second. So the UV glove is super nice too.
It's something that anyone who has done any kind of canning or jarring has learned the hard way more than once.
These are literally one of those as seen on TV items. I think I may have talked about it before, I can't remember, but
and they're amazing.
we were like, somebody gave us one as a gift when it was at Shockley's Sweet Shop. And I thought, you know what? We'll try it out. But man, we fell in love with it. My brother and I. You do like 200-300 pieces of cake during a day. That's a lot of hot pans coming out of the oven.
So yeah, this is how you get your first round of lid. And then once you have all the lids on, then you'll go through and you'll do a second tightening.
Yep. And there we have it. Our peach pepper jam.
Ta-da!
And the blue jar actually looks green now.
It does.
Should have known that was coming, but it still looks really cool. So now once you've gotten all your lids on, you can go through and tighten them. Those lids are going to start getting really hot. So make sure you still have a glove on. But give them a good tight. Don't over tighten them. Make sure that they're on there nice and securely. Securely, is that a word? Make sure they're nice and secure. And if you end up with a little extra jam that won't fit in one of these, just dump it in a bowl. That'll set up for you. Matter of fact, I think that's already starting to set.
Let's see. Oh yeah, it's already semi-set.
So Mary and I will test that here in a couple minutes. I'm sure it's going to be really good. And the next thing you're going to start hearing when you go off and start doing your other things in the house, you're going to start hearing these guys seal. Yep, they make a little tink when it starts suctioning down those lids. And that's just the heat cooling down inside the jar there.
And that is a good sound.
Oh yeah. If that doesn't happen and they've cooled down completely and that lid hasn't suctioned all the way down in the center there, you don't have a complete seal and that jam's not going to be any good over time. So go ahead and eat that one straight away. But yeah, these should all seal up here in the next probably hour to 2 hours. We'll start hearing tink, tink, tink throughout the house. And there is your peach pepper jam. From start to finish, that took us less than an hour. Filming it all. So have fun.
Thanks for watching, Sweet Freaks.
Thanks, guys. So Mary and I don't want to wait. We actually want to taste it and see what it's like. So this is actually still really warm, but it's starting to set up.
Oh yeah, look at that. See, you get that little bounce off the top?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see what we think. Oh yeah, it's set up nice already. Here's to you. Oh, that's good.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
How spicy is it?
Give me a second and I'll tell you.
Not too bad if you're already...
Ooh, that's good. It's just the amount of heat that I think we wanted, because you get the peach first. It's totally sweet. You get the peach. But then once you swallow it, it's like there's a little kick at the back end, but not enough to make you go...
You're right.
Yeah,
nice.
It's good.
So it's not too hot.
No.
It's not the habanero blueberry that we did.
No. But it's just the right amount to counter the sweetness, I think.
And the way Mary and I like to eat this is literally with just some cream cheese and some crackers.
This
cream cheese.
doesn't even need cream cheese.
Could you put this on a sandwich?
Oh, totally.
On a peanut butter and jelly?
Yeah, I think that would be
kind of like
awesome.
Thai, you know, like the peanut and the heat.
Yeah, I think that would be great. A Thai PBJ. Who would have thunk it?
There you go. Good. I'm glad it came out.
Yeah. So peach pepper pow jam, a success.
Peach pepper pow. Awesome. Now I want to try it.